All right, guys, I've got something different for you today. This is the Huawei Pura X. This is their brand new clamshell foldable smartphone that they released. It's not available in the US, so don't worry about it, and tariffs don't really affect this. But I want to show you guys this device because it's very different and unique. You can see how it looks here. Cover display. Go ahead and open this up. Super wide. And yes, for those of you looking for the Sukuna wallpaper, I'll provide it for you. I do have an unboxing short form, which you guys should go check out. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. All right, let's dive into the Pura X. Clamshell, but a very different layout, as you can clearly see, because it's going to open up this way. And the build of this is really solid. I will say that Huawei does a really good job with the build quality of this. It feels comfortable. It feels actually smaller than the Galaxy Z Flips or the Motorola, but it's pretty much the same size. I have those right here. You can see size by size is actually even larger, if you will. This is the Galaxy, just in terms of the height itself. You can see out there, and here's the Moto, where I would say it kind of matches the Moto in terms of height overall. So that's just a quick one. We'll look at a side by side later. But the hardware here, on the front, we do have a 3.5-inch display, 980 by 980. And then our cameras here, we do have a 50 megapixel main sensor, flash on the side here. This is your volume rocker, and this is your power button right here. So your power button is here with your fingerprint sensor. And as you can see, you've got your speaker grill, your SIM tray, nano SIM, USB Type-C. And the hinge is pretty standard, if you will, for these type of devices, but it's also got a very flat seal to it, which is quite nice. Now, when we go ahead and open it up, it opens up to a very wide device. 6.3 inches. This is a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, resolution 1320 by 2120. And this also has LPTO display, LTPO2, 2500 nits. It's really nice. Now, when it comes to the crease though, you can kind of see it in an angle right there, yep. But it's really, really good. It's flush enough for you to use quite effectively without any issues. Now, this is running Harmony OS, very smooth. I was able to download a few applications, even though I can't really use it, especially Call of Duty and PUBG. I don't have logins for them on here, and I can't log in with my typical Google logins anyway. But you get an idea of what it actually will look like on the screen, and I think the real estate is fine. I wish it was a bit wider when it comes to gaming, just because I think this length makes the most amount of sense. But the width and that Z height, I think, will be quite useful, especially if you're playing like shooters or platformers. That will work well. But again, this isn't coming out in the US or at least in Europe, so this is not something that would be of a major concern. Now, scrolling through here, we also have access to the camera, which is very important because that camera is right here. We do have an internal camera as well, which we can switch to. Nothing crazy in terms of the camera, but we do have some camera functionality here. There's a night shot, snapshot, portrait, photo, video, of course, recording that up to 4K. You can see how it actually pans out on screen. And then of course you can zoom in up to 30x zoom with the camera. So that's something to take note. Now, a few camera options you do have. You've also got the dual view, which you can access with either some emojis or the camera preview, which gives us this preview right here. Now you can do this quite easily with, of course, your device open or with your device closed. You don't need preview. You can actually access the camera from the cover display. Now the cover display here, using the camera, this is your front-facing camera. It is definitely sharper and it's much better to use this camera to actually take your photos, videos, all that fun stuff. So you get the idea. It's the same thing as any other flagship foldable device, but how does it stack up to the rest in terms of size, look, and feel? Okay, taking a look at the Pura X against, of course, the Z Flip 6 and the Moto Razr Plus, you can see how they look, and which is larger. Galaxy is definitely the smallest in size, also has the smaller cover display. This is the second largest cover display, and of course the cover display here on the Motorola Razr Plus is the largest. The camera layouts are more similar with the Galaxy and the Razr, while of course Huawei has this different camera layout in the front. Now when you kind of hold them side by side and you kind of just look at the displays that they have here, you can see how sharp and vibrant the display is on the Pura X as it compares to the Z Flip 6, but also you can see just the height difference as well, and also the thickness, which is comparable, but again the hinge is on a different side. This is what makes it quite different. So you can see the width added to it because of the way the hinge is actually placed, which is on the different axis for this device. Now in comparison to the Razr, again, more similar, but it's still larger as well. And in terms of thickness, you can see they're roughly the same, but of course the hinge placement is very different. This is of course the Paris Hilton version of the device. You can see the hinge placement. Makes sense. Now, when we open up the clamshells, you can see that the Pura X is the shortest device compared to the Razr at 6.9, the Galaxy at 6.7, but it's a 16:10 aspect ratio, much wider device overall. So if you look at it next to, of course, the Galaxy, you can see how much room is left. Same thing with the Razr. So definitely a device that just has more width overall, which is quite interesting. Is this better for you? I don't know. I mean, if you're gaming, this is really wide, which is nice, gives you a nice wide field of view at 6.9. Also the same thing here at 6.7, while this might do a much better job if you're watching content on here, because of course you can see it's a shorter field of view. And this is what it's like to watch content on here. You can see taking that full aspect ratio. I'm watching it off the web browser, but again, watching one of my videos here, this is the S23 Ultra video. It takes full advantage of the display quite well, which is pretty nice. Now, it's not as wide as the 16:9, but this makes a lot of sense. It's really good to actually watch content on here. In comparison to what you have, say, on the Galaxy or on the Razr, if you're going to YouTube, you can already see the length here. And let's just go into this video from the Cyber Nerds. Boom. So you're already losing a lot, and when you spread it out, it looks nice, but you also cut into it. Depends on how the video is shot. I do like this. This is really nice, but you're losing a lot of that Z height as well. So kind of just looking at these videos stacked side to side, even though they're not the same. Widescreen definitely looks nice, but when it comes to actually people on screen, this is where you see that height difference, kind of like IMAX compared to, you know, just standard viewing here. And we're going to be getting to frame into a spot where I start talking on camera, and we'll see where that actually places me. So my head's cut off. You don't see a lot of Daniel just because it's zoomed in. So you get an idea here. This just gives you a full idea of, you know, what you're getting in terms of viewing with this, but it's still pretty nice. How does it stack up in terms of the larger display, which is a 16:10 in comparison to something like, of course, the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition, or even something like Oppo's device as well. This is a much larger screen all the way, so you can see here how it actually compares to it. If we get the Oppo, it's also the same thing. So it's not necessarily replacing these devices. It's in a very strange competition with devices like this here, which I'm not exactly sure how it actually fits or falls, but I do like the weird difference that they have here with this device from Huawei. Seeing more innovation in the space and doing something different is always cool. It's not coming to the US, but I just wanted to show you guys. I thought this would be a really cool way to showcase a different type of foldable. So if you have any questions in the comments, let me know. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and always enjoy your entertainment. Yes, I know, different type of video.